Hello, everyone. My name is Rian Butlagunda, and I'm a 10th grader at Rouse High School. Thank you so much for being here today. Today, I'll be talking about agentic AI apps, which represent a major shift in how AI systems are designed and used. Most people are familiar with AI as something you interact with. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer, and then it waits for the next question. That kind of AI is really helpful, but it's also really limited. Agentic AI is different. In technical terms, agentic AI systems possess goal-oriented autonomy, meaning they can work towards an objective across multiple steps without needing constant instructions. Now let's simplify that. Instead of just answering questions like most chatbots do, agentic AI can also make a plan, take actions, check its progress, and keep going until a task is done. By the end of the presentation, you'll understand what agentic AI is, how it works behind the scenes, and why it matters for the future of technology and education. To understand agentic AI clearly, let's first take a look at what we're covering today. This presentation is organized into 8 main sections. Each section represents a core capability that makes agentic AI different from normal AI systems, like ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Blackbox. We will start by defining what agentic AI is and is not. Then we'll be moving on to how goals, planning, actions, memory, and safety all work together in agentic AI. And finally, we'll look into real-world examples of what this means for the future. Think of this like following the life of an AI agent, from receiving a goal to completing a task. Now let's begin with the most important foundation, what agentic AI actually is. Agentic AI is defined by the concept of agency. In artificial intelligence, agency refers to the ability of a system to act intentionally towards a goal over time. Traditional AI systems are reactive. They respond when asked, but they don't initiate or continue to work on their own. Agentic AI, on the other hand, is goal-driven, persistent, capable of independent decision-making within limits. Now let's simplify that. Normal AI is like asking a teacher a question and then you receive the answer. Agentic AI is like asking a teacher to help you prepare for a test, and they will help you step by step. It doesn't stop after one response. Agentic AI keeps going until a task is finished or a human tells it to stop. So if agentic AI works towards goals, how is that different from normal AI and how they work with prompts? To really understand why agentic AI is such a big deal in our world right now, we must first clearly compare the kind of AI most of us already know. That's what I'm talking about, regular AI. Regular AI is designed to be reactive. In more technical terms, it operates on a prompt and response model. That means it waits for a user to tell exactly what to do, responds once, and then it stops. So with regular AI, every action starts with you. You have to ask the chatbot a question, then it'll give you an answer. And then if you ask another question, it'll respond again. It's really helpful, yes, but it's not really independent. Regular AI can explain things, give advice, and also summarize information, but that doesn't continue working unless you keep guiding it. It also usually has very little memory power. So once the conversation ends, everything resets. Now let's shift over to agentic AI, over here on the right. Because this is where things start to feel a little bit more different. Agentic AI is built around goals instead of prompts. Technically, this means that it has proactive autonomy, the ability to decide what to do next without waiting to be told. Instead of asking, "What do you want me to do now?" agentic AI asks, "What's the best next step I could take to reach the goal?" That one change completely transforms how the system behaves. Rather than responding once and stopping, agentic AI can plan ahead, take actions, check whether those actions work, and then adjust its process. It uses tools, evaluates results, and keeps moving forward until the goal is completed or the human tells it to stop. Here's a simple way of thinking about it. Regular AI talks while agentic AI works. For example, imagine you say, help me prepare for a test. A regular AI might give you a list of study tips and then wait for your next question. Agentic AI, on the other hand, might create a study plan, break the material into sections, and quiz you. It'll also track your progress and change the plan if you're struggling in certain sections, all without you needing to prompt every single step. Another major difference is memory. Regular AI often forgets past interactions once the session ends. Agentic AI can remember what it's doing, what has worked on before, and what you prefer. So when we compare these two systems side, the key takeaway is this. Regular AI is designed to answer questions, while agentic AI is designed to achieve outcomes. That shift from answering to acting is what defines agentic AI and why it's such an important evolution in our technology. Now that we have clearly seen how agentic AI and regular AI differ, let's take a closer look on how agentic AI works with goals instead of prompts. Traditional AI systems are controlled using prompts, like I said before, which are specific instructions telling the AI exactly what to do. This approach works well with short tasks, but doesn't scale well for complex or long-term problems. Agentic AI operates on goals, which define an outcome rather than a method. Technically speaking, this allows the AI to perform autonomous tasks decomposition, meaning it can break down a goal into multiple steps on its own. Now, in simpler terms, a prompt says, do this one thing for me and you'll be done. While a goal says, make this happen, make sure you do your best when you make this happen. When you give AI a goal, it can decide what needs to be done, in what order, and when it's finished. This makes agentic AI much more flexible and really powerful compared to regular AI. To achieve goals independently, agentic AI relies on a continuous decision-making process called the agent loop. At the core of every agentic AI system is something called agentic loop. In technical terms or technical language, this is a closed-loop feedback system that allows continuous reasoning and adaptation. The loop has 4 steps. Observe the current state, decide what to do next, and act using a tool and reflect on the result. Then the loop repeats, like this image shows. The AI looks at what's happening, it thinks about what to do next, and then it does something, and then it checks if it worked. This is basically like how you take a test. First, you think about what's actually happening in the test and what we're seeing in the test, what type of questions, what type of content's on there, and all of that stuff. Next, we have to decide what to do next. So we're solving each problem and we're deciding which problem to move on next, how we're going to answer it, and which ones we'll be getting correct. Then we actually start marking the answers. We solve the questions, we mark the answers, we circle them or write them in. Then after we check the answers one last time before we submit the test. That's what the reflect step is. This loop is what allows agentic AI to adapt instead of blindly following instructions. But before an AI can actually act, it must plan, which brings us to decision making. Agentic AI uses reasoning models and planning strategies to translate abstract goals into concrete actions. This includes breaking large goals into smaller tasks, choosing priorities, revising plans when conditions change. In technical terms, this is also known as dynamic planning. Big goals can be really overwhelming, so agentic AI handles them by turning them into smaller, more manageable steps. So each step will lead towards the big goal. If one step doesn't work, the AI doesn't give up. It changes the plan and keeps on going. That's what makes agentic AI useful in unpredictable real-world situations. Once the plan is in place, the AI needs a way to actually do things. That leads us to the tools. Agentic AI becomes truly powerful when it can interact with the world through tools. Technically, tools act as controlled interfaces between the AI's decisions and real-world systems. These tools may include search engines like Google, file systems, calendars, and external apps. The AI doesn't just talk, it acts. It can look up things, create documents, organize schedules, or update systems. However, the AI only decides what to do. The software controls how it's done, which keeps everything safe. To improve over time, the AI also needs memory. Agentic AI systems rely both on short-term memory and long-term memory. Short-term memory helps the AI track and what it's currently doing at the moment. Long-term memory allows it to remember preferences of the human that it's talking to, the outcomes of every situation, or the situations it has already tried, and the past experiences it's already had. Memory helps the AI learn. It remembers what worked and what did not. That way, it doesn't repeat the same mistakes over and over again. With that memory, every task would feel like it's starting from scratch. With all of this capability, safety becomes extremely important. Because agentic AI can act independently, it must operate under strict safety constraints. These systems use limited permissions, clear rules, and human oversight. The AI is really powerful, but it's not free to do anything it wants just yet. Humans have to decide what tools it can use, what actions require approval, and when it must stop. This ensures that agentic AI remains helpful and responsible and doesn't take over the world soon. Now let's look into how agentic AI is already being used. Agentic AI is not science fiction. It already exists in our world. It's used in study planning tools, research assistants, automation systems, and also coding helpers. These systems help people save time and focus on important things instead of just repetitive work every single time. They act as a digital help rather than replacements. All of this leads to the important question: why does this all matter in the first place? Why can we not just continue with ChatGPT or Perplexity? Agentic AI represents a fundamental shift in how software is designed. Software is no longer passive. It can now assist continuously, adapt to change, and manage complex tasks. Software is becoming more like a helper than a tool. This change this changes a lot about how we work and interact with technology. So, what does this mean for the future? The future of agentic AI is not just about replacing humans. It's more about collaboration. Humans focus on the creative side, the judgmental side, and the decision making, while AI handles organization, repetition, and also the follow through. So basically, in simple terms, people will be thinking while the AI actually helps us. Together, this creates better productivity and smarter systems that we can actually rely on. Thank you for listening, and I hope this session gave you some clear new insights. For our next video, we'll take a closer look at a specific AI agent platform called NAN. Thank you, and Rima signing off.